Good morning, student. Let's start today's class. Okay. Today we will discuss about synchronous time division multiplexing. In previous class, we studied about time division multiplexing. What is time division multiplexing? In time division multiplexing, the our channel is divide divide by time slots, not by frequency. In FDM, frequency division multiplexing, the channel is divided by frequency. Okay, that means every input data or input connection have one time slot in the channel. Okay, this is the time division multiplexing. But now let's see what is synchronous time division multiplexing. We can divide TDM, time division multiplexing, into two different schemes. Okay, one is synchronous TDM, next one is statistical TDM. Okay, first of all, we let us discuss the time division multiplexing. In synchronous time division multiplexing TDM, each input connection has an allotment in the output even if it is not sending data. Okay, that means there is that number of, or there is let's say four number of inputs, okay, to the TDM, but three number of inputs sending data, one number of input not sending data. Okay, but for that four number of total number of inputs, there is some allotment, there is of allotment of time. Okay, in the output there is four allotment. Okay, because since there is a four input, there is four output allotment, other four output allotment, or there is, you see, if the input, okay, four input, but these three input sending data, this one input not sending data. uh, However, for this four input there is allotment of uh, time is also for in output, uh, also for in output. Okay, this is the concept. Okay, but in synchronous, in in now let's say time slot and frames. Okay, in synchronous TDM, okay, the data flow of each input connection is divided into units. Okay, first data flow are divided into units first of all, where each input occupies one input time slot. Okay, one input time slot. Okay, a unit can be one bit or one character or one block of data. The unit can be one bit or one character or one block of data. Okay, each input or each input unit became one output unit and occupy one output time slot. You know that. However, the duration of an output time slot, okay, is n times shorter than the duration of an input time slot. Okay, that means if an input time slot is t second, the output time slot is t by n second. Okay, you see, the output time slot is n times shorter than the input time slot. Okay, where n is the number of connection. Okay, that much connection we get, that number of connection is n. Okay, in other word, a unit, okay, in the output connection has a shorter duration, that is it travels faster due to the due to the duration of the of an unit in output connection is shorter, then it travels faster. Okay, now see here, what happened here. There is three datas. Okay, b1, a, b and c. There is three input data. Okay, but that input data is divided into 3 units. Okay, this is 1 unit of all data, this is 2 unit, this is 3 unit, and the time interval, time slot, input time slot given here, t t t, that interval is divided the unit of or the time interval, 1 unit or units is dividing the input signal. Okay, now let's see a1, a2 and a3. Okay, this is time interval t. Okay, similarly b1, b2, b3, c1, c2, c3. In the time in the synchronous TDM, what happened, one frame is created. Okay, this is one frame, this is one frame, this is another frame. Okay, and one frame contain of 1 unit from each input. Okay, you see this is frame 1. Okay, it contain a1, b1 and c1. Okay, a1, b1 and c1. That means the first unit of all input data contain one frame. Okay, in one frame. Okay, and another frame, this is another frame, this is all another unit, or next unit of all input, and next frame is containing next unit of all input. Okay, similar it transmit here. Okay, so this is the transmission. Okay, in the line, transmission line. Okay, now see here the time slot is t. Okay, but here frame time slot is t, but one input time slot, because here since here a1 time slot is t, but here a1 time slot is t by 3, since here the uh, t time slot is divided into t by n, t by n. Here n is number of inputs, n is number of input, here input is 3. Okay, so t by 3. You see here all inputs, all input time slot let t, here all output time slot is t by 3. Okay, that is 3 n time shorter than the input time slot. Okay, you see in synchronous TDM, a round of data unit from each input connection is collected uh, into a frame. Okay, I told you that uh, all the all the units of each input are collected into a frame. Okay, then if we have n collection, okay, or n input, a frame is divided into n time slots, and one slot is allotted for each unit, one for each input line. Okay, that this is if the input, here input let's say 3. Okay, so the frame is divided into 3 equal slots. Okay, and each slot is dedicated to each unit of one input. Okay, then if the duration of the input unit is t. Okay, the time, that means the time slot, okay, of input, the duration of each slot is t by n, and the duration of each frame is t. Okay, you, you see this, the duration of each unit or input unit is t, and the frame duration is t, and the one slot of that frame is t by 3. Now, so data rate of the output link must be n times the data rate of a connection to guarantee the flow of data. Okay, that means the data rate is higher than the input data rate. Okay, the output data rate should be higher than the input data rate. The time slot are grouped into frame. A frame consists of one complete cycle of time slots with one slot dedicated to each sending devices. Okay, you know that. Then in figure, the data rate of the link is 3 times the data rate of the connection. Okay, that means the data rate of in the link or in the channel should be 3 times more than the data rate of the input sending data. Okay, then likewise the duration of the unit on the connection is 3 times than the of the time slot. Okay, of the time slot. This is the concept here. You remember only that the time slot in input unit or input is uh, n times more than the or n times uh, of the input output time slot. Okay, remember that. And likewise the data rate of the input is n time shorter than the data rate of the channel. Okay, thank you. And remember, and wait, remember this, that the all the data in FDMA or and previously we have studied in FDMA or WDMA, the all data is or the all input whole input is transmitted simultaneously. Okay, that means total A, B and C transmitted simultaneously, but here one unit of that input is transmitted and combining with one frame and transmitted. Okay, here the all input not transmitted simultaneously. Some portion of all input A1, B1 and C1 is transmitted uh, by combining or by making one frames. Okay, transmitted in the channel. This is the concept, or this is a difference difference in TDM uh, and synchronous FDMA. Okay, here synchronous word is used because the time slot is synchronized. Okay, this is that if the input time slot is t, then it should be the output time slot is t by n. That means the number of n is the number of inputs. Here inputs is 3, so the output time slot should be t by 3. This is fixed, so synchronous is uh, maintained here. Okay, thank you.